Hi everyone, this is a session just to brief you on the expectations for the programme over the next 12 months and just a couple of pieces of pre-work that I would like you to do in advance of our session, please. Many of you were not available for this pre-call, so actually I thought I'd just record it, so I've given you a pass on this occasion, and I look forward to meeting you all in person on the 14th of February, where we'll start our Coaching Leaders 12-month programme. I won't go through this slide in detail. What we'll cover over the first session is really how do we start to take a coaching approach to leading our teams? How do we start to think about the mindset we need to get into and the mindset of our teams when we think about driving high performance as leaders in our businesses? Lots of things we're going to cover over the next 12 months, but we'll start with these two key principles as we go through that opening session. I would also like to invite you to work with an accountability partner. So throughout the 12 months, I've assigned each of you one other person that you will work with throughout the 12 months. And this is someone that's outside of your business that gives you the opportunity to check in on a regular basis and just have those conversations about what's happening in your business, what's happening for you as you introduce this coaching approach to leading your teams, and being accountable to start to drive some change. Because if we just wait for each session, you'll struggle to get round to the commitment to actually make a change. This enables you to work with somebody else that is going to help you with that accountability to take action. So you'll see that I've got Gary with Simon, Grace with Henry, Jonathan with Mike, S-Peer, that's how we pronounce it, S-Peer with Kevin, and Mike with Sam. So I look forward to kind of introducing you to each other and hopefully the start of quite a valuable relationship as you go through the next 12 months. And really those accountability conversations are about key actions, helping each other make progress, and this frequency of review. We'll be meeting once a month, and the intention is that you get a chance to check in with each other at least once a month in between, so you're not having to wait a month for each of the sessions. The reason we do this and the reason it's important, not just for us, but also for our teams, and we'll talk about this again on our launch day, is this whole piece around how easy it is for people to forget, for all of us to forget. And there's this work done by this scientist Ebbinghaus about how quickly people forget things. And you'll see that the antidote to that, the answer is repetition. So we really want to keep repeating the key things that we're learning, maybe repeating key messages to our teams and customers, and making sure that we stay present in those conversations and when we think about performance and the right actions that we need our teams to take. That's why coaching is so valuable. It helps to improve performance and retention of information. I'm sure most of you will have either met me or know of me. We will be issuing the Coaching Leaders books on the day on the 14th, so you'll all get a signed copy. You don't have to have it, but you will all have the opportunity to get a signed copy. And I'll explain a bit more about my business experience, but effectively I've been in sales or business leadership positions for around 25 years, and then in the last 6 years been running my own business as an executive coach and kind of leadership development trainer. So we'll work through some of that experience. I'll share some of those as we go through the program. On the day we'll kind of do some introductions and make sure that everybody knows who's who. And the 4 things I'd like you to do for me, please, in advance of our session on the 14th. I'll include these in the follow-up email. You'll see this video in the link to that in that email as well. I'd love you to join our community in our portal where all of the content is housed, but there's also a community group in there where you can put in place comments and ideas and share best practice. I'd also like you to take our Coaching Leaders Scorecard, which is a diagnostic scorecard that just helps you to start to think about those areas that you could prioritise for development going into the programme. Attached to the email, there'll also be a copy of the Coaching Leaders Toolkit. If you can save that somewhere where you can find it so that you can use that as we go through the programme. Each of our sessions, I'll ask you to use that as your working document to capture your plans and the changes that you want to make. And then the 4th thing is to reflect on the course questions, which we'll start with on day 1. I've got those coming up on the next slide. So they're the 4 things, if I can ask you to do. I'll send you those 2 links, the link to the community and the link to this scorecard. After completing the scorecard, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you can allocate 15 minutes, you'll receive a report that gives you a development plan that shows, where you have strengths, where you have perhaps some blind spots, areas that you hadn't thought about in terms of coaching, and then development areas, and of course reference points, because we can repeat it again, in a year's time as we end the program. The toolkit looks like this. It's a full document with lots of different templates, assets, and tables and documents that you can then use to start to build out the plan you're going to take as you make improvements in your leadership going on from the program. This is the program and the community. When you click on the community to register, you'll see that you get access to these 3 pages. And what you've got in here are video-based modules for the whole Coaching Leaders program. So that's this one here. So click on there and you'll be able to access all the video modules. We will cover this content as we go through the next 12 months, but it's also an opportunity to recap and look at key principles as you work through the content. As a bonus, there are a couple of other online programs in here. So one is the Sales Academy. So that's the sales training program, if that's of use to you. Lots of different video-based modules for sales training. And the other is a growth mindset program, specifically a deep dive into what does it take to change the psychology and attitudes for us and our teams as leaders. So once you've clicked in there, save that as a website favorite so that you can keep going back to it easily to revisit the content. And once you get into the Coaching Leaders Academy, you'll see that there are lots of different videos. So you start the course and you've got the different videos that go through the content there. I recommend, schedule some time, maybe 15 minutes a day. If you can get to 15 minutes a day just to watch a couple of videos, they're only 5 to 10 minutes long. It's just going to help you to work through the content and recap on it. We have our WhatsApp chat, so please feel free to dive into the WhatsApp chat and share ideas. If you've got questions as we work through the content, just share the questions in the chat. If you want to reply to me privately, if there's anything specific that's happening for you and you think, I wouldn't mind an opinion on this, just drop me a quick private message and I'll happily respond if I can help or share some ideas. It can be quite useful as we go through the next 12 months because you'll find lots of different things going on. There are these 4 questions that we'll cover as we go through our first session on the 14th. So I'd love for you to start to reflect on these questions. How would you describe your leadership style? If you had to describe the ideal leader, which and what words would you use? Which situations with members of your teams do you find most challenging at the moment? And then finally, ideally, what would you like to gain from the workshops as we go through the next 12 months? That will just really help you sharpen your focus around what we want to achieve and what you want to get out of it personally. Our venue is the Action UK head office. Kevin, who's on our course, Kevin Allen, and his team have kindly agreed to host us. So thank you, Kevin and the team, for doing that. Our workshop is, as you know, Wednesday, the 14th of February. It's Valentine's Day. That wasn't intentional, just the date that most people could make. So it's at Phoenix Park, Eton-Soken, A1 St Neots, just off the A1 at Y Boston. And the workshop time, please could you arrive so that we can start at 9:30. So if you can get there for about 9:15, that'd be great. We'll start at 9:30 and we will finish at 4 p.m. On that day to give people time to travel back. So they're the 4 actions. All you need to do is schedule some time, if you can, to complete those 4 actions. They're in the email as well. And I really look forward to meeting you all, introducing you to each other and working with you on the 14th of February. In the meantime, if you'd like to get in touch, I think you've already got my contact details. If we're not connected, then feel free to use the Linktree link on this email. That'll take you through to all my social channels. If you want to connect on LinkedIn, then please feel free to do that. And I look forward to meeting you on the 14th and answering any questions in the meantime. But we'll have a great start to our 12 months together. It's going to be a real transformation for all of us, enjoyable and valuable. Really look forward to meeting you all then. In the meantime, have a great couple of weeks and I will see you on the 14th. Take care.